This is the only peaceful and constitutional solution. The system is already set up, and the precinct strategy is also the way to organize by county, by state, and by precinct in case things go unexpectedly for the worse in the United States of America in the next few years. The strangest political secret is the neighborhood precinct strategy. We see the candidates, but where do the candidates come from? 95+% of the time, probably 99% of the time, the candidates who win at the May primary or the spring primaries are endorsed by the Republican and Democratic Party. The Republican and Democratic Party control all 3,141 counties in this country. So we see the candidates, but people rarely think that the candidates we see are 99% plus of the time endorsed by the Republican and Democratic parties, basically at the county level. So, where do the Republican and Democratic Party leaders come from? They come from the neighborhood precinct executive, someone within 10 streets or so around your house. Now, with the exception of Obama, we all know that there's 50 states. Those 50 states are divided into 3,141 counties. For instance, my state of Ohio is divided into 88 counties, and here's the state of Iowa is divided into 99 counties, and so on. There are, again, about 3,141 counties in the USA. Each one of the counties is divided into neighborhood precincts. My county in Cincinnati has around 1,100 neighborhood precincts. It's pretty large. But 100 miles north of us in Ohio is Knox County, Ohio, which has only 58 precincts. And each of these precincts is, again, about 10 to 20 to 30 streets around your house. Here's a Precinct 18, an actual map of Precinct 18 in Bloomfield Township in Michigan. You can see there's about 30 streets. Everyone who lives in this precinct votes at the same place. For instance, where I live in White Oak suburb in Cincinnati, we vote at the White Oak Senior Center. All the voters in your precinct vote at the same place. Here is a picture of someone signing in to vote in her precinct in Syracuse, New York. And all the other voters in her neighborhood precinct will vote at the same place. Now here's the big secret. At the May primary in Ohio, or the 2010 primary where you are, every even year primary, the voters in your precinct will elect the neighborhood precinct executives. The Democrats elect the Democratic neighborhood precinct executive for your and my precincts, and the Republicans in your precinct will elect the Republican precinct executives. Most people do not realize this takes place at the May primary. I didn't notice it. I'd been voting for 15 years or so in 1986 when I first noticed that I was voting for precinct executive every May primary. It's usually, if anyone's running, sometimes nobody's running, 1/3 of the precincts are vacant, but if anyone's running, it's after the coroner and the dog catcher, and it's usually unopposed. It's very easy for Americans to run for precinct. In Ohio, it takes 5 signatures. In in Pennsylvania, I believe it takes 10 signatures. It's very easy. And we only need 200,000 or 300,000 people nationwide to do this. I mean, there's 3 million people that voted for, that were supporting Ron Paul, 3 to 4 million people that are worried about Second Amendment rights or the pro-life issue. We only need 300,000 or 400,000 people to run in these precincts to return us to constitutional leadership if the current party leaders don't shape up. So that's part of the secret. The other part of the secret is 1 month after your 2010 primary, or all the even year primaries, like in June in Cincinnati and Ohio, or maybe it's another, 1 month after your primary in your state, then the almost secret county precinct organizational meeting takes place for the Democrat and Republican parties. It'll happen on different nights, and the parties will go to the convention center in a big county, or the VFW hall, or a school gymnasium, and there on one night the Democrats, and somewhere else maybe on another night the Republicans, they elect the all-important party leaders. It is this meeting that they do not want you to know about. It is that the precinct executives are elected at the even year primaries, and that the all-important county organizational meeting happens 1 month later in your county. It'll happen in 2010. This is what they don't want want you to know about. They want you to think all you can do is beg by writing letters and going to rallies, but no, every one of us should get involved in some way or other in running or supporting a constitutionalist to run for precinct executive in the 2010 primary, and then go to these meetings. And if the party leaders don't shape up, if they don't take a pledge or an oath to support the Constitution, to not cooperate with any orders to disarm the American people, to withhold food from the American people, to declare the American people enemy combatants, to shut down the internet. If they don't agree with this, then we have to knock out all the party leaders in the Democrat and Republican Party and replace them with normal Americans who want to keep the freedoms in our country. Do you see why they don't want you to know about these meetings? And whoever elects the most Republican precinct executives in your county will be able to elect the Republican Party chairman, and the same goes for the Democrats. This is the strangest political secret. This is why they don't want you to know about when the precinct executives are elected, what the precinct executives do, and about this all-important, almost secret county organizational meeting.